biggest thing this year, as you get older through the program, you kind of learn how to take care of your body and like what your body needs. And I think the biggest thing that I realized I'm trying to focus on over the off season is putting on some weight. This is the first camp that I've gone into over 300 pounds. I think last year the heaviest I played was 298, and then the year before that I think it was 295, 298 again. But right now I'm sitting like 313. So the biggest thing was just putting on some extra pounds that give me an advantage in the run and pass game.
You think it's helping?
Yeah, I can feel a difference. I'm the fastest I've been in a while too, so I put on the weight and I also increase speed and strength. But I can feel a difference so far in practice.
Did you keep it on last year, or did you have a tough time at the end of the year keeping the weight on?
I had a hard time keeping it on. I had a hard time keeping it on for the past 2 years, but I think this year I really sat down with Haley, our nutritionist, and then Mike, just to kind of get a plan together to keep it on, and so far I've done that.
Part of development, you brought a gallon jug in with you. Is that hard to drink? Obviously, that's a hydration thing.
Yeah.
What's it for, and how hard was that to?
You got as soon as you get off that field, you have to start the recovery process. Like I just lost 12 pounds at practice, so I have to work by the time we get back at 4 o'clock for a team meeting to kind of get it back up to at least 2 pounds. So that jug needs to be pretty much gone soon. So it's a recovery process that is rough, but it's needed.
I'd take that 12 pounds. You're gonna put it back
How
on.
How long does it take to drink a gallon?
Yeah.
Depends how many sips you take. Yeah. If you're really thirsty, you can get it down within 3 hours. But I don't like to do that because it makes you feel nice and heavy. But
You recruited by Pitt.
a little bit,
Bit.
not really. I never got an offer, never went on an official visit or anything. So
Okay, so it would just be unofficial or whatever.
yeah, I went down for I think 1 or 2 camps, but that was about it.
And so they never offered. Did that stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
100%.
Yeah.
Even if they would have offered, I never even gave them a thought.
Do you talk to the guys about what the game meant to you growing up? Because I'm sure you were aware of the game.
I was aware of it, but I was never like involved in it. I was more of a Notre Dame guy than a
Okay.
Pitt guy. I never really liked them.
Okay. So you were a Steelers guy, I guess?
Yeah, I was more of a Steelers guy, but I was never. My family wasn't a big Pitt fan. My grandfather was a huge Notre Dame fan. So
What about guys on Pitt's team? Was there a lot of the guys, or you know a lot of the guys?
yeah, I know a majority of their. I was with their O-line over the summer at the Joe Moore O-line camp.
Okay.
I trained with a couple of them through different camps and like different programs we had in Pittsburgh. I think their left guard, and then one of their backup guards I know pretty well. A couple D linemen I know, so I know a bunch of those guys.
Now, that's what makes this game kind of unique is we're so close. Campuses are so close, so you go and play Oklahoma, you fly 2 hours to play, then you never see them again.
Yep.
There's a lot of interaction with some of these guys, isn't there?
Yep. You go downtown up in Pittsburgh South Side, you're gonna run into a bunch of those guys, and it's a weird, like if you know them like personally like I do, you're gonna notice them more. But like some of the guys on the team may go up there and not recognize them if they're not in Big Deer, but I would see them from across the street. So it's a weird dynamic.
What about the people in your neighborhood? Do they give you stuff?
No, not really. I don't really see anybody from my neighborhood anymore.
I got you.
So going off of the Pitt game, there's, very, very well could end up being the top defensive line, or at least one of the top defensive lines that you guys face all year. So I guess how have you guys prepared? I mean, obviously the game's probably, you're still going to start more preparing for the game going, in a couple weeks. But knowing that this might be your biggest challenge of the year in week 0, have you guys prepared for that?
I think the biggest preparation that we have is that stat itself. They're going to be the top, so they say, in the country. But we feel like we're going to be one of the top lines in the country too. So that kind of put a chip on our shoulder and make us work a little bit harder. And, we really start like picking apart different things that they're doing right now. We're not really full diving into game plan right now and like film study, but here and there we watch some things that they do and we kind of go over stuff in practice. But I think the biggest thing is that they say they're going to be the best and we say we're going to be the best. So that's like the big motivation right there.
Has it helped you get prepared? Has it helped you from that spring ball to where you're at right now, getting mentally, physically prepared for a season?
When you open up with a game like that, with the stature that game has, you really can't waste time. We always talk about urgency in team meetings, and we have a countdown every day that we see when we meet, and if you waste a rep, waste a second, you know, that's a second and a rep that Pitt can have over us, and that's kind of like what's pushing our full team to like be as best as they can be.
Wyatt moved to the other side. Now he's next to you. What have you seen from him so far?
I think when we flipped him to the left, I think he feels more comfortable, even though at first he didn't really. It took him a second to kind of switch to the left-handed stance, just the left kick, but I think because he's a lefty, he's more natural over there. As a young guy, he is beyond what I've seen. You know, he knows a lot. He's raw talent. Like when he's 4 years in, he's gonna be an All-American tackle. He already is, but he'll be first team water can. He'll be everything. You know, he's fun to play next to.
Take a little while to get that communication right. What's that like?
Not really. You know, our starting five's so close that you could switch any of us and we would have no hiccups. I think that's one advantage that we have. You know, Dante hit on it earlier. We're just a close-knit unit. We talk every day out of here. We're always with each other. We have great chemistry, and it really helps with that. So like if anybody went down and we switched someone, we wouldn't miss a beat. So it's a great advantage we have.
How much different is the confidence level with you guys just this year compared to the last few years? You said best.
It's night and day. You know, it's you can just tell. Whenever we could step out on the field, it's a big difference. There's no really doubt that we're not going to get the job done.
Is there anything you haven't seen now?
What's up?
I mean, sorry, Keith, is there anything you haven't seen now? You go out on the field, and I think back to the Baylor game last year where they did some things that were like,
Yeah.
you guys.
We've seen about anything you can
Yeah.
see. Between Baylor, Oklahoma, Iowa State, there's nothing left you can see, honestly. Those are some weird defenses we played, but now there's really nothing left on the table to kind of be surprised about.
James, can you go more into the plan that you put together with Ely and Mike?
Yeah,
Like
so
your career, it sounds like it kind of got you going, right?
yeah, this is the real first year that I kind of like sat down and made a plan for nutrition and strength. I'm on different supplements like creatine, protein, and my meal intake and calorie intake has increased like throughout the day. I eat probably about 4 times a day and then like 3 snacks just to try and keep that weight on, because we burn close to 5,000 calories a day in one practice, so I have to find a way to supplement that back into my body and keep it up and then not get in a caloric deficit. But sitting down with them really helped. You know, Mike's one of the best in the country, if not the best. Haley's great with putting plans together, and I think it really showed this offseason. I'm starting to feel the difference now, day 3 of camp.
You mentioned first over 300, and I think if I'm doing the math right, you lost 13 pounds.
Yeah, I came
Yeah,
in
gained 2,
I
right?
came in at like close to 320, and then my freshman year I dropped it all down to like 290-ish, and then I've kind of just been floating there the whole time, and then now I'm finally up.
Just a minute, you said you lost 13, which puts you under 300.
Yeah.
You had to gain 2.
Yeah, no,
Is there like a magic number for you guys?
I have to put it back up to 313, so I have to
Too
put
much math.
a lot of numbers flying around here.
So,
Matt.
do you have a caloric number each day you try to hit?
I just eat.
Just
I just gotta eat and weigh in, and then stop when I'm at my weight.
Is the size, is it to improve the run game?
Yeah.
I know that's something that Neil has challenged you guys.
Yeah. Having that extra weight kind of just gives you more power and just more. Once you get going, it's harder to stop and get pushed back. And the same thing with the pass game. If you're getting a bull rush, you can just sit your weight down and you don't really move. That was like my biggest struggle that I've had. If I got a bull rush, I don't have much weight to sit down. I'm about the same weight as a D lineman running full speed at me.
So the focus wasn't just you, but it was all 5 guys across the
Yeah.
board. We need to be bigger and
Yeah.
more physical.
Yep.
What's your go-to meal if you're trying to add weight, but like do it in a good way over your calories or in order?
I think my go-to is when I'm not here, I take rice, two fried eggs, throw it all together, soy sauce and butter and cheese. Just eat that. Probably not the healthiest, but it works. Yeah.
Baby food? Do you eat any?
Oh God, no. No baby food ever.
He's got